Most men destroy attraction the moment they try to force it. They either block or beg. Blocking looks like over-defensiveness, arms crossed, cold responses, shutting down when she tests. Begging looks like over-availability, texting too fast, over-explaining, asking for approval with every move. Both come from the same root, fear of losing her, and fear always leaks. Here's the twist. Women don't punish you for not being perfect. They punish you for being predictable. When you block, she knows you're insecure. When you beg, she knows you're desperate. Neither gives her the emotional friction she needs. It's like a song with no rhythm she tunes out. Think about magnets. Push too hard and they repel. Hold back completely and nothing happens. The sweet spot is letting the field do the work. Attraction works the same way. The invisible pull comes when you stop forcing. Here's your quick win. Next time she throws a test, don't defend and don't plead. Try this instead. Tilt your head, smirk, and say, "That's cute. You almost had me." No defense, no chase, just a frame flip. She's the one proving herself now. Please test this honestly. Don't just nod along. Try it once, even in a small exchange. You'll feel the shift immediately. Because once you stop blocking and begging, you create space. And space is where her curiosity starts working against her. Remember this line: attraction dies when you push, it lives when you allow. And that's exactly where the next layer begins. Because if pushing kills it, what actually makes her lean in harder? Non-resistance feels counterintuitive, but it's lethal once you understand it. The more you fight, the more she feels your tension. The more you relax, the more she gives you her energy. It's like quicksand. The man who thrashes sinks, the man who stays calm floats. Here's what it looks like in real life. She throws a jab. Do you talk to every girl like this? The average guy resists. He says, "No, you're different. I don't mean it like that." That's thrashing. Non-resistance is different. You let the jab slide through you and redirect it. You smile, shrug, and go, "Probably, but you seem like you can handle it." No defense, no explanation. You didn't block her, you let it flow and turned it playful. This is pacing and leading. You match her energy, then guide it somewhere else. Instead of shutting down her frame or bending to it, you absorb it and tilt it. That tiny adjustment changes the whole rhythm of the conversation. Here's your goal. Next time she teases, don't argue or prove. Repeat her line back with a twist. Example, her, "You're trouble." You, "Exactly. And you look like you enjoy trouble." It's non-resistance. Her frame enters, but you reshape it in seconds. Please test this in one conversation this week, just once. Don't overthink it. You'll notice her smile lingers longer than usual, because once you stop resisting, she stops testing. And when she stops testing, her mind starts wondering, what's really underneath this calm? Remember this: energy given is energy kept. Energy resisted is energy lost. But here's where it gets even more interesting, because the real magic isn't just in redirecting her energy, it's in planting thoughts she can't shake long after the conversation ends. Planting is the art of saying less and letting her brain do the heavy lifting. You don't hammer the point, you drop it like a seed, then move on. Later, she'll water it with her own imagination. Picture this: you're talking casually and you slip in, "Funny thing, people usually get curious what it'd be like to hang out with me a second time." Then you change the subject. You didn't ask her out, you didn't push, but the seed is in. Her mind can't help but loop back. Would I hang out with him again? What would that feel like? This works because the subconscious hates unfinished thoughts. It's called a presupposition. Phrasing that sneaks an assumption under the radar. You're not telling her to want more, you're assuming she already does, and her brain scrambles to make sense of it. Here's your quick move. Next time you're mid-conversation, drop one line that presupposes future connection. Example, "You'll probably tease me about this again later." Then stop. No grin, no explanation. Let the silence swallow it. Please try this carefully. Don't overuse it. One seed per interaction is enough. Too many, and you look like you're selling. One is powerful because it grows on its own. Because once you learn to drop instead of push, you stop chasing her attention. She starts chasing the meaning. Lock this in your head. A planted thought grows stronger than a forced one. And here's the twist. When you combine planting with absence, her mind doesn't just replay the line, it amplifies it. That's the echo effect. The emotional echo is what happens after you leave the room, or even just a pause in the conversation. It's the replay effect. Her brain goes back over your words, your tone, your look. And because memory is never neutral, she doesn't just remember it, she intensifies it. Imagine dropping a stone in water. The ripples don't stop when the stone disappears. They spread wider. Same with emotions. You give her a spark, then you step back. The gap forces her mind to keep the spark alive, often stronger than when you were there. Here's the trick. Don't flood her with attention. Give her a hit, then let silence do the rest. Example, you make her laugh, then instead of piling on more jokes, you lean back, sip your drink, and let her sit with it. She replays the laugh in her head, wondering why it felt so good. That replay is the echo. You create an emotional state, then step away so her mind anchors it to you automatically. The less you try to hold it, the deeper it sticks. Here's your move: end on a high note, not when energy is flat. If she's laughing, cut it short with, "You're fun, I'll let you recover." Then pivot, leave her brain hungry. Please don't be afraid of the pause. I know silence feels risky, but it's in those quiet moments that her mind does the chasing, because when she echoes you in her head, you're not competing with other guys anymore. You're already inside her imagination. Remember this line: the echo lasts longer than the sound. But now imagine pairing that echo with something else: tension. Not the forced kind, but the natural kind that comes from never giving her the whole story. That's where the hook lives. The hook lives in tension. Not the tension you create by pushing, but the tension that slips in when you never give her full certainty. Her brain craves resolution. She wants to know exactly where she stands, but you never hand it to her. That gap is what keeps her leaning in. Think of it like a cliffhanger in a show. You finish an episode, but the last scene is unresolved. Do you walk away? No. You hit next episode. Her attraction works the same way. If you give her the whole script: I like you, I want you, I'll do anything for you, she closes the book. But if you leave open loops, she keeps turning pages. Here's how it looks in action. You compliment her, but with an edge. You're gorgeous, but I'm not sure if you're trouble or not. Warmth, then a question mark. Or you smile and say, I like talking to you, but don't get used to it. Approval and challenge in the same breath. That's tension. Unfinished experiences stick in the mind. You don't close the loop, so she does it for you. That self-completion makes her investment personal. Here's your move. Next time she asks a direct question, so do you like me? Don't hand over a clean yes. Tilt your head, grin, and say, sometimes. Then pivot. No answer is the answer. The tension will follow her home. And please don't overdo this. If every word is mystery, she'll burn out. Balance is everything. Give her enough warmth to feel safe, then lace it with a crack of uncertainty, because tension is the hook. Certainty ends the story, but tension keeps it alive. And here's the beauty. Once you let her chase the tension, you don't even need to push the ending. It writes itself in her mind, which brings us to the payoff. The payoff isn't in what you say, it's in what you stop saying. Attraction lands hardest when it feels like her idea, not yours. You don't hammer, you don't beg, you don't block, you let the wave crash on its own. Here's how it plays out. You drop a presupposition. When we run into each other again, you don't chase, you don't follow up. Hours later, she's replaying it. Why did he say that so casually? Does he know something I don't? That's the hit. It doesn't land in the moment. It lands later, when she's alone, scrolling, wishing she could text you first. If she concludes it's her choice to want you, the desire locks in deeper. The more she explains it to herself, the more it becomes truth. You didn't argue for attraction, she argued herself into it. Here's your quick move. End one interaction on a high note, then leave first. Don't wait for the drag out goodbye. Give her a line like, you're fun, we'll continue this another time, then walk. Let the silence after you be louder than your presence. Please don't underestimate this. It feels strange to pull back when things are good, but that's exactly why it works. I want you to trust me here. Just test it once and notice how much faster she circles back, because the payoff isn't in convincing her, it's in letting her convince herself. And once you master this, the game shifts completely, because now you're not just attractive, you're unforgettable. And if you want the full playbook, all the psychological patterns, the exact words, and the step-by-step system to make her chase without you ever looking needy, that's what I break down in my course, The Attraction Algorithm. The link is in the description. Alright brother, sit with me for a second, because this one's not just about women, it's about how you carry yourself in life. Most men lose before they even start. You know why? Because they push. They push too hard when they want something, or they block too hard when they're scared of losing it. Begging and blocking, it's the same disease, just two different masks. And the disease is fear. Fear of not being enough, fear of being left, fear of being exposed. But here's the secret most men never learn. Attraction isn't about pushing harder, it's about pulling without effort. It's gravity, and gravity doesn't shout, doesn't chase, doesn't hold a sign. Gravity just exists, and everything around it adjusts. The times I messed up most in my life were when I tried to force people to see me, force women to stay, force the world to bend to my will, and every time I pushed, I ended up emptier. Please don't do that. You deserve more than begging for crumbs. The real power is in non-resistance. Let her tease you, let her test you, let life test you, and instead of thrashing, you smile, you absorb, you redirect. Think of water, try to punch it and it doesn't fight back. It just reshapes around the hit and keeps flowing. That's why water wears down stone and stone never wins. When you plant seeds, little phrases, little frames, and then step back, you give her space to water them herself. That's where obsession grows. Not because you pushed it into her mind, but because she can't stop replaying it on her own. It's the echo. You give her a spark, then silence, and silence does more work than words ever could. Brother, this isn't just about women. It's about you building yourself into someone who doesn't push the world, but lets the world bend to his presence. Someone who doesn't chase, someone who knows, I am the pull, not the push. Please try this once in your real life. Not tomorrow, not someday, this week. Try it with her, try it with anyone. Don't push, don't beg, just breathe, let it flow, and watch how the energy shifts. Then come back and tell me. I want to hear how it feels in your skin, because that's where the truth lives. Not in theory, but in practice. This was the Dark Needle. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.